What exactly is your metabolism? Now, we hear that term all the time. We see it on social media, you see it online. Metabolic rate, metabolism. What exactly does that mean? Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Applied Fitness, where our mission is to help motivate, educate, and empower you to become the best version of yourself. And today I want to do a deep dive into Metabolism 101 and kind of explain to you exactly what it means and why it matters, especially if you're in your health and fitness and fat loss journey. And these terms, what they mean and how you can improve, impact, and influence your metabolism, what to do, what not to do, and all of that starts with the basic of what the metabolism is. So we're going to start with the basic. Metabolism is, kind of think of like a thermostat. Your metabolism is what controls your caloric expenditure, how many calories you burn at rest, how many calories you burn during the day, while you're sleeping. All those things are important. As we age, our metabolism tends to slow down. So just like a regular thermostat, your metabolism can get damaged. What happens is after years of fad diets or yo-yo dieting or excessive exercise and very low calorie meal plans and all the dieting craziness and over exercising that we do over our time, our metabolism starts to go down, and just like a thermostat, it breaks, it gets damaged. So what we're going to talk to you today about, A, what the metabolism is, and B, how we can repair that so you can recover to ignite your metabolism so you can burn more calories. So you can see the chart here we have. This is the basic chart. These are the 4 things that are going to affect metabolism the most. These are the things that we can control. And we're all about controlling what we can, coping with what we can't, and concentrating on what's important. So let's talk about what we can control. So some of the factors: age. After 40, your late 30s and 40s, your metabolism starts to slow down. Typically that's hormonal. We start to get sarcopenia, we start to get muscle wasting. It's oftentimes because the years of fad and yo-yo dieting. So after 40s, when your metabolism really starts to shrink, what worked in the 20s and 30s stops working because your metabolism stops working. So age, obviously we can't control that. You can see gender, we can't control that. Obviously women have a slower metabolism than men. That's just due to more muscle tone, it's due to testosterone. So you really can't change that. So far, so you might think, oh my God, I'm doomed, but there's hope. All right, next one is muscle to fat ratio, which all that is sarcopenia. All sarcopenia is just a clinical term for muscle wasting. And what happens again, as we age, you may have heard of osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis, which is bone breakdown. Sarcopenia is muscle wasting, where you literally start to lose muscle tone, you break down your muscle tissue, and that is what slows down your metabolism. But this is the good news. Through strength training, particularly the right amount of strength training, the right amount of resistance training, you can counter, reverse, and ward off sarcopenia. So that's probably the most important thing you can do is that. Diet. A diet higher in protein and lower in sugar is going to help stimulate your metabolism too as well. So today we can control, and of course exercise, the right amount of exercise, and obviously we're going to talk about that. So let's kind of break down what the 4 factors of, those are the variables. But now let's talk about the factors for metabolism. First, we have the basal metabolic rate, which is the bottom. That's what we call the BMR. All that means is just how many calories you burn at rest. So if we were to put you in a room and you were just to lie down and do nothing for 24 hours, that is how many calories you would burn. That's your basal metabolic rate, and that's the biggest number. You can see we have that as the bottom part of the triangle. So that's going to be the most amount of calories. Second is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We call this NEAT. And all that is, the NEAT calories are your non-exercise. And that's doing chores, gardening, walking around, working, cleaning, your everyday activities. So you can see that's a pretty good chunk of how many calories you burn for your metabolism is the non-exercise activity. So again, that makes it important, even more important, how we say to add those, to sneak those little things in during the day, whether it's parking further away or going for a walk after dinner, just those little things, walking the dog, all those things add up, as you can see. Next is intentional activity. That's exercise. We know that, we love that. Some of us love exercise more than others, but nonetheless, that is exercise. And that's how many calories you are burning. But there's a caveat there. it's not just all exercise. Now, we don't necessarily want to talk about doing like long, slow, boring cardio or doing any kind of thing like that, because that is good. It's good for the heart, good for the lungs, good for the cardiorespiratory system. Awesome, I do it myself. But as far as fat loss and weight loss, it's not optimized, because what happens is you burn calories during a workout, but then your metabolism goes back to baseline numbers. So when we have intentional activity, again, it refers back to the strength training, intentional strength training, where you're really lifting a resistance that's going to challenge your bones, going to challenge your muscles. What are the benefits of that? Obviously, as I mentioned, it's going to ignite your metabolism, but it's going to help you to look more toned. You're going to look leaner. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to improve your balance. You're going to improve your posture. You're going to improve your mobility. All of those things are only improved through strength training and not through cardiovascular training, so or group fitness classes or anything like that. So that's why it's super important to have that foundation of strength training. And on top is a thermogenic effect of food. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. I know it's kind of an odd topic for a lot of people, but when you eat, you burn calories to break down the foods that you're eating. So if you're eating fat, it's very easy for your body to just break that down and to store that. Carbohydrates are as easy as well. The hardest of all the macronutrients to break down is protein. So again, that's why we want to focus on a diet that's a little bit higher in protein. We're not Atkins, we're not anything keto or any of that nonsense, but we are focused heavy on protein for that reason, that thermogenic effect of food. So if you eat protein at every meal, that's going to, especially if we're eating the 3, 4, sometimes 5 meals a day, 5 smaller meals, you're going to burn more calories just breaking down, assimilating, and digesting that food. And I know that's kind of a hard concept to think about, but just think that the more you eat, the more often you eat, not free for all for the calories. The more often you eat, the more calories you're going to burn just to break down, assimilate, and digest those calories. So keep that in mind. So this is your metabolism. This is your metabolic chart right there. So these are the things. So the bad news is some things we can't affect our age. We can't affect our gender. But those are the two things we can. But the muscle tone we can do. Diet, we can certainly, we can focus on, and exercise. So by focusing on those 3 things, that's going to improve and increase your metabolism. You're going to burn more calories at rest. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. And let's just face it, when you have more energy and you feel better, guess what? You want to do more. It's kind of one of those paradoxes that, like, when you're tired and lethargic, you don't feel like doing anything. But when you feel better, you feel like doing more, and you go out and you do more. So it's kind of that cascade, that circle. So I hope that helps. That's your metabolism 101. And these are all the factors that affect it. And again, look at your diet, look at your meal plan, look at your activity levels, look at your stress levels are important too, your sleep habits, all those factors we didn't even talk about today, but those are important as well. Those are all part of the total solution, the total puzzle to help stimulate your metabolism. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We're here to serve you. Be great.